Are you a South African musician trying to figure out how on earth do you register with SAMRO? Welcome to my video series where I plan on demystifying the South African music industry. Cue the intro! What's up? It's your boy Skill from skillmusicsa.com and welcome to my channel where I plan on giving information to my fellow South African musicians on how to improve in their music business in South Africa. In this video tutorial, I plan on showing you a step-by-step on how to register yourself and your music with SAMRO. If you haven't looked at my previous videos on the South African industry, please do head back because the very first two are very important to understand the whole context of the video series. When you sign up with SAMRO, there are 3 forms that you have to fill out. A membership application form, a deed of assignment form, and a notification of work form. I'm going to head over to my PC and show you where exactly to get that, and you can also check into the video description to get a link directly to that website. So the first thing you do is obviously you have to head over to the SAMRO website. So I'm going to do it via Google, just Google SAMRO. And then the first one you should find is samro.org.za. That's the website you need to go to, the official SAMRO website. And then right at the top, you'll see there's a place called Forms. You click on Forms. Now, before you run off, remember there are only 3 forms that you have to fill in initially. That's the membership application form, deed of assignment form, and notification of works form. The other 2 you fill in once you're already a member, and you send that in later when you're already a member. So I'm going to click on download, download, download. There are the three forms that you need to fill out. Now I'm going to give you an aerial view of how you fill out these forms and what you need to pay attention to. So in front of me I've got the SAMRO forms, and I'm going to start at the top. It says please use block letters and a black pen. So black pen here, and here are the block letters. So first of all, personal details, Mr. So I'm going to use an X. Surname, I'm going to just use a generic one like music. And then full names, Skill. Pretending my name is Skill and my surname is Music. So, AKA or pseudonym. When you register or upload your music on all these social platforms, what do you use? So I use Skill Music SA. This is your pseudonym. And then for your passport number, there's so basically it starts with probably a 9 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just put in fake numbers because I'm not going to put my ID number on here. You know why. Then the next page is your birth date. Obviously it must be the year at first, the month and the day. So I'm gonna put the year, which I'll probably put my real birthday there, 99920430. Yes. And your address, let's say 35 make sure you're using block letters, Chaplin Road. I'm gonna say Chaplin Road, and then let me just say a suburb in East London, Berea, East London, and then 6001. Then you do the same for the postal address. You can copy this. Sometimes people don't have a postal address, so you can use your residential address as your postal address. East London 6001. Country of birth. It must be noted that you don't necessarily have to be from South Africa to register with SAMRO, but in general, it's usually South Africans. Nationality, I'm just gonna say South African. Then your gender, you can mark it with an X, male. And then your phone number. I'm gonna put my I'm not gonna put my home one because I don't have one. And then I'm gonna put my cell phone number 083-570-9602. Then email address. Remember the block letters, so info@skillmusicsa.com. Move over to the next page. The next of kin is the people, if you were to die, that would get the royalties left over from you. So I'm just gonna say Mr. Joseph, and then the telephone number 043-772-6302, and then email address. I'm gonna just put in. Obviously, you put in their email address. Make sure you're using block letters. info@skillmusicsa.com. And in my case, I've only got one next of kin, so I'm going to move on. But if you have other people that you want to give your next of kin rights to, you fill out number 2 and number 3. Banking details, I'm going to say Nedbank. Remember the block letters, your full name. So what was my full name? Skill Music. Obviously, this will be the full name that you have used for your on your bank details. The account number, I'm just gonna say 423-123-123, and then the type of account that you have. I'm gonna say check for my purposes. Wait, it's a little bumpy on my table. Branch name, I'm gonna say Berea, and then branch code is 633333. Okay, this is a declaration. You have to read it and make sure that you are in terms of its memorandum of incorporation. And then before you sign right at the bottom, make sure you read this out and it makes sense to you. And then you must tell it where you signed at. So I'm gonna say I signed at Skill Studios. At Skill Studios. And then on this day, I'm just gonna say whatever day. 11th of June. And then 2019. Okay, it's actually not the 11th, but anyway. In the June applicant signature, and then you sign it through. I'm just gonna make a 0. That's the signature. That's the end to the notification of works. Lies. And that brings the end to the SAMRO application form. 2 more forms to go. The next form that I'll be filling out is the deed of assignment of copyright. You basically have to tell SAMRO that they are allowed to collect your copyrights in all parts of the world. So as I explained in my very first video of the series, you're only allowed 1 PRO. So this enables SAMRO to collect in the whole world. So let's get going. By this deed of assignment made, so you have to put in the date on this day of the 11th June 2019, and then name, surname, and this must be the name and surname on your passport or ID. I'm just going to use the generic Skill as my name, and then surname as Music. Remember that you must keep everything as block letters. So your passport or your ID number or your passport number. So I'm just going to say 9 1 2 1 2, and then 4 digits 1 2 3 4, and then 3 digits 1 2 3. Just put in a generic ID number there. We move on to the second page. Basically, this breaks down what you are signing to SAMRO, and it's explaining what terminology they use in certain aspects. I'm not gonna go through that. You can read that yourself. The same goes for the third page, giving more detail, and it's explaining performing right. This is very important. This basically is what SAMRO will be collecting. The fourth and last page carries on and tells you where SAMRO will be collecting. And basically, these are the last two places that you must sign. So, signer. This is signed by on the behalf of the signer. This is where you sign. What was my signature again? Z. There. And if you're under 18, please do read this. I made a mistake when I first registered with SAMRO. I didn't get my parent to sign, so I wasn't registered until much later, and I realized I lost out a lot of money. So if you're under 18, please do get your parent to sign. And then over here, sign for on the behalf of organization SAMRO. You leave this open. The person that you send the forms to must sign this. And if she tells you that she cannot sign it, then you have to get a witness, and then the witness will sign it off for you. That's the deed of assignment form filled out. One more form to go, the third form. The last form, and probably the thickest looking one, is the registration of works form or notification of works. So I'm going to just go through. Remember to carry on using block letters and a black pen to fill out your forms. Registration of works form, the composer / the author. This was used, so I'm going to use what I used earlier, skill, music. Okay, and then your ID number, so I'm going to do 91, 2 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 digits, 1, 2, 3. That's the passport number. Publisher, you can just put an NA if you're not a publisher. And then registration number, you can also go NA, as this one is for musicians only. A registration type. So there are 4 possible registration types. If you are a musician, beat maker, or any type of musician as an independent musician here in South Africa, then you are a composer / an author. So put an X there. Contact number 083 570 9602. And then email address, remember carry on with the block letters, info@skillmusicsa.com. Next slide. Over here, this tells you exactly what you need to acknowledge. I'm not going to read through that, but do read it before you actually send through your forms. It's very important. And then over here, let's put in a date. So we say the 11th of June, which is the 6th, and then the year 2019. Composer. This is where you sign as an independent musician, where it says composer / author. So that's my generic signature. And then publisher, we're not a publisher, so we just got to say NA. If you have a publisher, then they'll also have to sign in here, but usually your publisher does the paperwork for you because musicians tend to mess it around. Now for the next about, I don't know, let's say 10 pages or so, this is where you notify SAMRO of all the works that you have. If you've been making music for a long time, there's a high chance that you will have up to 30 songs that they allow you here on the notification. Just as a reminder, you can also notify SAMRO on the online portal, but I tend to do my very first one, well, I've only done it once. I feel like the very first one that you do via paper, just because it is what it is. But before you start filling out and going crazy, take out the last page and put it on the side. This page is going to come in really handy. So I'm going to fill in the very first notification, and then I'll cross to the last page just to explain what I'm doing. So the first title, let's say my song, actually releasing a song on the 28th of June, and it's probably, Cougar. So the song's name is Cougar. This must be the name that you're using on all the digital platforms where you are releasing. Cougar. An alternative title, you can just put in. Leave that empty actually, it's going to confuse the situation. Cougar, and the duration must be the exact time that it takes for your song to finish, so it's 2 minutes 52. Type of work you can leave out, and then artist and performing group, So in the performing group, I'm gonna put skill music SA, and then the right holders. Over this section, you write the name and surname as shown in the ID book. Okay. So let me put my name and surname. What's the name and surname I used again? I use skill, and I use music as my surname. Okay. And now for the capacity / the role. Let's go to the last page. Capacity / the role. Here are the codes that you must put in this area. The author. The author is the person that actually wrote the lyrics. This is usually where we would be. Either author. Leave AD. It's not often that you'd be using this as an independent musician. Arranger. Most likely won't be using, so I'm also not going to explain that. Composer. Composer is usually the person or the people that were involved in making the production or the producers. Publisher, I'm not doing that for publisher. Sub-author is a feature artist that you sometimes use, and a sub-publisher, I'm not going to put that in either. There's one more that is missing here. Oh yeah. Over here, title of work, the origin of the official title. Okay, that's obvious. Okay. So skill music. I'm going to say, as shown on the last page of the forms, I'm a composer and I am the author. Composer as the producer, and then I'm also the author as I'm also the one who wrote the lyrics. So I'm gonna write C, I'm gonna write A. And then PR is the performance rights share percentage. So I'm gonna give myself 100%. This is the case when there's no producer, no one else. It's just a single that I produced and I also made the lyrics too. I'm gonna do another example. Go to number 2. So number 2, let's say the last song that I released was I'm Good. And remember, when you write the title, it must be 100% exactly the same as it is shown on all the digital platforms. So I'm Good, and then it's featuring, I'm gonna write featuring Kus Diverse. The duration is 2 minutes 59. The type of work I'm going to leave out for now. Performing artist name is Skill Music SA. And then separated with semicolon, I think that's called, and then Kus Diverse. Diverse. Okay, and the right holder, obviously it was me, Skill Music, that's my name and surname for this tutorial. And then Kus Diverse has got his real ID name, but I'm gonna just use Kus Diverse. Please, in the right holder names, write the ID name and not the performance name. I'm just doing this for the tutorial, but in the actual forms that you fill out, write in the actual name and surname shown on the ID book. So now on this side, I was the producer and I was also an author. Okay. Kus has a verse in that track. I did not help him write his verse, he wrote his verse all by himself, so he's also an author. It's very important that you and your person have agreed, you and everyone involved in the music making have agreed on the terms of the specific song. So for this particular song, I'm going to say, since I made the beat as the composer, I get 50, and I'm also the writer, so I get another half of the writing share, so it's 75%. And then there's the author, for one verse, he gets 25%. This is not necessarily set in stone. You have to agree when you sit with each other. After the song, immediately fill out the composer split confirmation form, and then this is the share that you give each other. Okay. Now that's page 2. That's the first page. Okay, I'm not going to carry on giving more examples. I'm just going to draw a check if I didn't miss anything. Okay, nothing missed. So if there's nothing else, you can bail the other pages and just... Now you're going to save and scan the 3 forms. Once you've filled out all the forms, it's very important that you scan them, look at them and make sure that they look okay, and then you send the email straight to SAMRO. I will leave the email address that you must send it to in the description, and it's very simple. As you saw, just takes about 30 minutes to fill out, and you're basically done registering with SAMRO. I do suggest that you give them a call. A number I'll also leave in the description below, and then you ask for who can I speak to with regards to sending in my SAMRO application form. Someone is going to answer that phone, and then you get that person's number, and then you tell them, I have finished my registration forms and I'd like to submit them. What's the email address I must send it to? And then you send it to the email address that person tells you while she's on the phone, so that she or he is on the phone. That way you make sure that that person has received those forms. That concludes this episode on how to fill out the SAMRO forms. I hope you found it very informative, and if you did like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more of this type of information, please hit the subscribe, hit the bell at the bottom so you are able to be notified as soon as I upload a video. And until next time, Skilligan the Hooligan signing